do this. Hi, Mark. This is Joseph, Pauloway speaking. I apologize for any crookedness that you may see on the pictures. That's just the way I cut them out and pasted them on. This is the assignment 6 oral presentation about the 4 civilizations and 1 religion that we were talking about. First, we're going to start off with Rome, which at the height of its power between 98 and 117, which grew to the height of its power at 98 and 117. The Roman Empire had many problems, not all of them major, but the vast majority of their problems were slave-based and based off their social standings. There were mainly 2 classes of people, Romans and non-Romans, and in that there's tons of subclasses, but we're not going to get into that. The main way that Rome gained such a large empire was through its military. Its military, in turn, was governed by the Senate. The Senate, depending on the later Roman Empire, would report to the, depending on which Rome you go to, would report to the emperor. But the Senate had power to change domestic as well as foreign policies, like who to conquer next. The vast majority of these slaves that they would use to bolster their economy from captured nations and armies would go to build things like aqueducts or the Colosseum. And through this aggressive expansionism, their Roman culture, as well as society, ideas on society and other things, would get spread through their colonists, as we're going to call them. I don't want to call them anything else because I can't think of anything. But that's neither here nor there. The next empire that we're going to talk about is the one right here, is what we now know as the Middle East, which is, not getting into that. The Middle East, in this particular little thing, is ruled by Saladin during the Crusader era. He was a very tolerant ruler who allowed Christians to keep their posts as well as pilgrimage to Jerusalem after he had conquered it. And I know their flag just looks like a huge yellow square. I'm sorry, that's the only one I can find. Many things that Saladin built, such as mosques and castles, still stand today. His main trading enterprise, exports and imports, were through trading. He traded with China, which we're going to look at now. China we're talking about is the Qin Empire. This empire did not last very long, but it has the distinction of being the very first unified government to control all of what was then China. And yes, their flag does look similar. I don't know why. But many things that the Qin Empire built and started, such as the Great Wall of China, are still around today, such as the Forbidden City. China's main trading export with the Middle East, and then through the Middle East when it was controlled by Rome, was silk and other things such as jade. Jade and other things, as well as things from India over here, have been found in Italy from that time period, as well as Roman coins and other forms of Roman art and deco and all that have been found in China and India. Their main trading partner in the region was India, as we now see, which did not have a unified government until the British came along. The British then unified all of India, as well as parts of Burma, under their collective rule, using the East India Trading Company to control it for a period of time. And they had many wars because of this, because not all Indian rulers liked having some foreign person who didn't understand their culture rule over them. And they lost, all of them. But many of these Indian-based things, such as yoga or other things, are still around today. The main thing that all of these have in common, including Rome over here, is that each one formed the basis for a successor state to follow after it. India is now a democracy and part of the Commonwealth of Nations, which we are a part of. Except this part, I don't know what went on there, and this part over here is Pakistan, which is kind of an if. China is now ruled by a communist state, supposedly. I don't know anymore. who control all of China in this picture, not just this nice little slice. And well, in the Middle East is controlled through many different successor states, such as Tripoli is now controlled by Libya. Egypt is right about here. There's Israel and Syria and Iraq, and as well as Turkey and Greece up here. The Roman Empire gave birth to England, Scotland, because they gave birth to Scotland simply because they didn't conquer it. What we now know is Spain, France, Rome, Italy, I should say, Greece, as well as all that mess over there, and Turkey. The main thing that these societies all have in common is that, besides that of course, is that they all believed, they all contributed something to one another at different periods of their existence, through trade or, as we see with the Romans, conquest. So that is my oral presentation on these three civilizations and one religion. Thank you for viewing this, and I hope I get a good mark.